Billionaire CEO loses a bet. Forced to marry a black single dad? What happens next shocks all. The Manhattan boardroom of Harrington Industries buzzed with tension as Cora Harrington slammed her palm on the mahogany table. At 31, the blonde haired, blue eyed CEO had built her late grandfather's company into a multi-billion-dollar empire, and she wasn't about to let anyone, especially not her conniving board members, tell her what to do. Marriage? She scoffed, her voice cutting through the room like ice. You're actually suggesting I need to marry to maintain control of my own company? Board Chairman Reginald Pettin, a 70-year-old relic who'd been gunning for her position since she'd inherited it 5 years ago, smiled smugly. The bylaws are clear, Ms. Harrington. By your 32nd birthday, you must be married or controlling interest reverts to the board. Your grandfather was quite traditional. My grandfather was a sexist dinosaur, Cora retorted, earning gasps from several board members. Her CFO and only ally, Tamika Washington, a brilliant black woman who'd risen through the ranks, tried to interject. Perhaps we could challenge the legality. No need, Cora interrupted, a dangerous glint in her eye. I'll make you a bet, Pettin. I'll get married within 6 months. But if I do, you and your cronies resign from the board immediately. Pettin laughed. You, the Ice Queen of Wall Street? You haven't dated anyone in 3 years. You'd marry a stranger just to keep control? I'd marry a homeless person off the street if it meant getting rid of you, Cora said coldly. Interesting, Pettin mused. Then let's make this fun. I choose who you marry. The room went silent. Even Tamika looked shocked. Excuse me? Cora's voice was deadly quiet. You said you'd marry anyone, so prove it. I choose your husband. You marry him within 6 months and stay married for at least 1 year and will resign. But if you refuse or divorce before the year is up, you forfeit everything. Cora's lawyer, Harrison Blake, immediately protested. This is absurd and likely illegal. I accept, Cora said, stunning everyone. No, Tamika whispered urgently. But Cora's pride had been triggered. She'd never lost a bet in her life, and she wasn't about to start now. Drop the contracts, Harrison. Make it ironclad. Mr. Pettin chooses someone. I marry them, and these fossils disappear forever. Pettin's smile was predatory. Oh, I already have someone in mind. Someone who will make you eat your words about marrying anyone. 3 days later, Cora stood outside a community center in the Bronx, staring at the address Pettin had given her with barely concealed rage. The building was run down but clean, with children's artwork covering the windows and the sound of laughter echoing from inside. This has to be a joke, she muttered to Tamika, who'd insisted on coming along. Girl, you should have listened to me. This whole bet is insane. Before Cora could respond, the door burst open and a little girl, maybe 7 years old, ran straight into Cora's legs. Oops, sorry, lady. The child looked up with the biggest brown eyes Cora had ever seen, her hair in two perfect puffballs tied with yellow ribbons. Destiny, you need to watch where you're... A deep voice called out. And then he appeared. The man was tall, at least 6'2", with rich, dark skin, close cropped hair showing hints of gray at the temples, and arms that suggested he worked out, but not obsessively. He wore a simple t-shirt covered in finger paint and jeans that had seen better days. But it was his eyes that caught Cora's attention. Warm amber, like expensive whiskey, filled with kindness and exhaustion. I'm so sorry, he said, scooping up the little girl. Destiny gets excited when it's art day. I'm Jameson Thorne. I run the community center. You're Jameson Thorne? Cora couldn't hide her surprise. She'd expected, well, she didn't know what she'd expected. But not this gentle giant with paint-stained clothes and a daughter who looked like sunshine personified. That's me. And you are? Cordelia Harrington. I believe Reginald Pettin told you I'd be coming? The warmth in Jameson's eyes immediately turned to weariness. Right. The billionaire who needs a husband. He set Destiny down. Baby, Go back inside. Ms. Rodriguez is starting story time. Bye, pretty lady. Destiny waved at Cora before running back inside. Once she was gone, Jameson's expression hardened. Let's get one thing straight, Miss Harrington. I don't know what game you and Petten are playing, but I'm only doing this for the community center. He promised to fund our programs for 10 years if I agreed to this insane arrangement. He's blackmailing you too. Cora was genuinely surprised. Not blackmail, bribery. This center is the only safe place for kids in this neighborhood. We provide after-school programs, meals, tutoring. Without Petten's funding, we close. So yeah, I'll marry you, but don't expect me to pretend to like it. His hostility should have annoyed her, but instead, Cora found herself respecting his honesty. Fair enough. I don't expect anything from you except legal marriage for 1 year. We can live separately, minimal contact. No, Jameson interrupted. Destiny's been through enough. Her mom died 2 years ago. If I'm doing this, we're doing it right. You move in with us. We act like a real family in front of her, and she never knows this is fake. Those are my terms. You expect me to move to the Bronx? Live in... Cora caught herself before saying something insulting. In our small apartment in a neighborhood you've probably never set foot in before? Yes, that's exactly what I expect. You wanted to prove you'd marry anyone? Prove it by actually living like anyone. Tamika coughed to hide a laugh. He's got a point, Cora. Cora stared at this man, this single father who was willing to marry a stranger for his community, who put his daughter's emotional well-being above his own comfort, who looked at her like she was just another privileged person playing games with people's lives. Fine, she heard herself say. I'll move in. We'll play happy family. 1 year. 1 year, Jameson agreed. But if you hurt my daughter, if you make her feel like she's not enough, deal's off. And I don't care what it costs me. I wouldn't, Cora started, offended. You don't know what you would or wouldn't do yet, Jameson said quietly. You've probably never been around kids. Destiny is special. Autism spectrum, high functioning, but sensitive. She'll get attached to you. When you leave after a year, it'll break her heart. But that's the price I'm paying for keeping this center open. Just try not to make it worse than it has to be. The weight of what she was doing hit Cora for the first time. This wasn't just about her and her company. There was a child involved, a child who'd already lost her mother. I'll be careful with her, Cora said softly. Jameson studied her for a long moment, then nodded. We should probably get married quickly, before either of us comes to our senses. Hello, my Stop Racism family. Thank you for tuning in today. Before we dive deeper into this beautiful love story, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Drop your country and state in the comments below. Also, I'd love to know your thoughts. What did you think of the story so far? Do you believe love can truly conquer prejudice? Let us know in the comments. We love reading them. And trust me, your words motivate us to keep making these videos. Let's make this video reach at least 50 comments. Your support means the world to us, and it drives us to create even more meaningful content for you. So don't forget to comment, share, and keep spreading love. 2 weeks later, Cora stood in a courthouse wearing a simple white dress. Tamika had insisted on some tradition, waiting for her soon-to-be husband. Her mother, Vivian Harrington, sat in the front row, looking like she'd swallowed a lemon. I can't believe you're doing this. Marrying a community center director? A single dad? What will people say? Hopefully, they'll say I won the bet and kept my company, Cora replied tersely. The door opened and Jameson walked in wearing a navy suit that fit him perfectly, highlighting his broad shoulders. Destiny skipped beside him in a yellow dress, throwing flower petals from a basket with enthusiastic abandon. Miss Cora, you look like a princess. Are you going to be my new mommy? The room went silent. Jameson's face was stricken. Destiny, we talked about this. It's okay, Cora interrupted, surprising herself by kneeling down to Destiny's level. I'm going to be your dad's wife, which makes me your stepmom. Is that okay with you? Destiny considered this seriously, then smiled. Will you braid my hair? Daddy tries, but he's not very good. Destiny! Jameson looked mortified, but Cora found herself smiling. I'd be happy to braid your hair. The ceremony was quick, efficient. When the judge said, "You may kiss the bride," Jameson hesitated. "We have to," Cora whispered, "for appearances." He leaned down and their lips met briefly. It should have been nothing, a business transaction sealed with a perfunctory kiss. But the moment their lips touched, Cora felt electricity shoot through her entire body. From Jameson's startled expression, he felt it too. They pulled apart quickly, both avoiding eye contact. "Yay! Daddy and Miss Cora are married!" Destiny cheered, oblivious to the tension. Outside the courthouse, photographers were waiting. Pettin's doing, no doubt. The headlines would be vicious. "Ice Queen melts for single dad," or something equally nauseating.